Is that people? Holy crap. Was that a person? That was a person. I'll be damned. Hey guys, I'm Looseie. Welcome back to Crescent Gaming, and today we got another good one in store for you. It's gonna be something a little bit different. I'm doing a retro review on a game that I used to play quite a long time ago called Rift. So without any further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright, now coming to the thing that really downed the game here. As you can see, I'm going to click the damn thing right now. Let's just get into it. And you got to keep this in mind too. This is funny. I was a patron for over a year for this stupid ass game. And when they finally came out with this system, when it went free to play, they only bumped me up to a blue tier of all these other tiers that you can get for being a patron now. That's a buff now. It's a free to play game, but it used to be a subscription-based game, and it was doing really well. And then they just, again, bad business decisions, but the cash shop has been turned into anything you want, anything that you want. You have all the DLCs, you can buy everything individually, you have all the gambling things that you would want, you have all these services, look, see, lock boxes, look, oh, bruh, that's it right there. I mean, you have a whole section just for lockboxes in itself. I mean, that ought to tell you where the game's at. Lockboxes can eat a dick. So you got equipment. You can just literally buy. Bam. Just get it all. You can just buy the gear. Look, you can buy raid tier 1, tier 2, raid tier 3 gear. Or it looks like, I'm gonna safely assume that that's $380. I could be wrong here. Yeah, no, I don't have enough credit. Raid 3 tier set. Never even step foot in the raid. You can buy the whole thing. Ready? These guys, they are literally out of the box, man. Oh wow, I take that back. LFR for level 70. So you can buy LFR. Alright, so I take that back. You can buy the looking for raid stuff for $60 to $102 roughly. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Just the whole gear set, weapons, accessories, everything. You don't even have to play the game and you can get all the in-game gear. Of course, they went crazy with the mounts, the bags, bag space even became a thing. Referral rewards. As you can see, this is exactly what happens with a good game. You had a good game, something really nice, then you throw in all this cash shop crap and just absolutely ruin it. Absolutely. If I had to give it a score now, 0. Man. Alright guys, so as far as the community goes, I mean, when this game was on and popping, when it was subscription based when it first came out, there was people all over the place. I'm surprised I even see another person. I mean, the game has just just disappeared. There's nothing left as far as the community goes. It's been gone for quite some time. In fact, they actually said that they reported 100 million in the first year of revenue from this game. So with that being said, if that is the case, they could probably keep the servers on forever just from that. But you can come. Oh look! It's 2 people! Yay! Level 6 and level 53. Woot! Or America. Heard that. Anyway, used to come in here, the crafting zone in Meridian, and this used to have people all over the place. I mean, getting your dailies done, getting stuff, people in trade chat all the time. It really used to be really popular. The PvP side, where you would come and get all your PvP gear, and in fact, where I got this horsey from, I don't know, you can get some of the stuff from a long time ago. I still have some of the things my clerics equipped, you can see. So like I said, I mean, this game used to be really good. This area right here, people used to duel all the time in here. It was kind of like a show-off area, you know, just who's better, whatever. It was really fun. The PvP community was really good. Just overall was really good when the game was there and it was moving. So, you know, it's a shame to see something that, you know, not only myself, but I think a lot of other people enjoyed, and it just went, I guess there was just a whole bunch of things. And of course, they were very transparent, Tryon being the publishing company, development company as well, both on this particular game, so you thought to be better, but they were never transparent. It was just, it was such great potential, man. This game was so much fun, you know, so much fun. So yeah, you can see that, you know, we got all this stuff done, you know, 2012 when I started playing the game, 2011 when it came out. You know, I think these were challenges or something like that. Yeah, Rapid Assault, right, Rapid Assault, yeah. Killed 100,000 players. Jeez. Fishing for attention, yeah, win a duel in Sanctum, which is the opposing faction for the Guardian. So like in World of Warcraft equivalent, that would be like 2 Alliance players going into Orgrimmar, having a duel against each other, and you win one, and no one gets killed in the process. So yeah, that was fun as shit when we did that. We had a blast going in Sanctum that day. We ended up hanging out, I guess, for about 3 hours. It was fun. Alright guys, now I think we're gonna start here with PvP, and I'm right out here in Whitefall, and this place used to be like, it used to go down. Like, this would, imagine all the summoning stones in WoW, like back in Burning Crusade days. Like, this would be the culmination of all of them, this little port right here. And it was a town, and yes, there weren't NPCs, but I mean, usually you can just power through them. And kind of this bridge used to be the spot. Well, anyway, you would come here and you would have your PvP dailies. But now you can see this whole place is, rifts are spawning here now. They never used to spawn. Oh, it's level 29. Oh, they changed this whole place and brought the level cap down. Ain't that some shit? So anyway, like I was saying, this used to be the zone. This is where you were level 50 capped at, the high-end zone. And this is where all the PvP dailies were. So now it seems like they've turned it into a much lower level zone. And as you can see, rifts have spawned all over the place. Nobody's doing them. I mean, nobody's here. That's kind of, I guess, part of the point for the retro perspective. Oh man, it used to go down out here though at this place. Oh, you can cover the 2 bridges. Watch, I'm gonna go up and show you this little. See right here, this little choke point inside of here, and you could actually pew people in here. And the guards wouldn't get you, but it was toe up, man. There was another way too. You could come up here, and oh, well, look at that. They added somebody. But anyway, you used to be able to stand up here, and you could pew people. That was one of the ways. The rangers could get on top of this roof here too. So there was all different kinds of ways to get some action. Man, this is where I guess it would go down. If you were really just bored, you would come out here. And then this was, of course, this Portico Master ended up being camped just like all of them. Think of them as flight paths, just not. So you grab your quest and you would come out to this low kind of fortified place right here. And then this is where you would get all your quests done. But yeah, this place here, it definitely used to go down here. I mean, it really did. Like, this was one of another hot spot. Pretty much those 2, the other place I showed you this. In Whitefall and here, these were the 2 main areas. So there's no more PvP lures, huh? I was gonna show you guys something, but I guess they yeah, I feel like they must have took it out of the game, huh? It was a PvP lure. You can see I'm standing at this raid rift to be able to pop one of these rifts here, one of these raid rifts, and it would start a raid event. And it was a PvP event where you had to run crystals back. And of course, the opposing faction would see it. No matter where they were at, if they were logged into the game, it would show up on their screen that, you know, Defiance have opened up a PvP rift at such and such and such and such. And all you had to do was come out here and stop the whoever opened it from running enough crystals. So it's kind of like a little open world PvP event, and the crystal spawns are pretty far. So basically, you would spawn the rift right here. And I'm not gonna, I guess I can get a raid rift later on. And then you would grab the crystals. Once you had the crystals, you can't mount up anymore. And there's an icon on the mini map here that shows your location, and then you'd have to turn it into like, you know, somewhere like right here. So you can see that rift back there. This is about how far you'd have to run. I guess a little further too sometimes. I can almost remember where some of the places were, but this used to be the in-game zone as well. And we're gonna get a little further in depth back there in the Caldaro and show you one of the raids, or the first raid that most people would get into. It also is worth mentioning, guys, that yeah, there is like you know, there always was a Warfront system, you know, and you can queue up. And of course, there used to be like 2 or 3 way back in the day, and they were always packed, you know. And now they've added all kind of stuff and done all kind of this other crap. And I'm not even gonna try level 67. That would just hurt so bad, you know. So there definitely is, you know, there was that aspect of it too. But I would say the main part of it came from the World v World. That's where the majority of the fun was, I think, for the most people. So this game really had a chance at bringing that aspect back into the genre, getting that true World v World sense in. So, you know, unfortunately, that's where it got lost at. And when it came to grind, guys, there really wasn't that much that you had to do in this game. You know, you had your general crafting stuff, but you really didn't, like, nothing was like, oh, you got to do this every single day, da 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 da. I mean, you had a few dailies and you had your weeklies, and that was pretty much about it. You have to keep in mind that it was subscription based, you know, at the beginning. So there was really no, in fact, I mean, still back in 2011, the grind wasn't really a huge thing yet. Not like it has become today, that's for sure. So there wasn't that much, and it was really good. So you could focus more on just enjoying the game, particularly the rifting mechanics in the outside world like world-on-world combat, like true open world PvP. So that was one of the real great things, I have to say, about the grind, was that there really wasn't that much. You had these weekly rift quests that you could get to do crafting material quests, and then you would take them, and you and a whole bunch of other people, you usually get in a big raid, and y'all would go out and you would do them. And I'm looking for one of the rifts. I'll probably have some of them saved up somewhere. It was like master crafting rifts. Yeah, see, repping right here, rift lure weaponsmith. And when you would pop that on a rift lure, it would open up a rift that would be designed to give you crafting materials for weaponsmiths. So those kind of things were awesome. Instead of going grind out and just mining endlessly or killing mobs and skinning them, it was really a great way to get in a different way to do it. You know, you had, see, Armored Smith, and then they introduced Dragon's Gold. Well, that's another type of lure. For grind, I guess, you know, there'd be the raid. That was one of the raid lures. So it's some really cool stuff that you could do with the raids, with the rift system, I mean. And I wish they really would have kept on that, because, I mean, look at all the crap. And I've gotten rid of a bunch of crap, but there was so many different things. And then with the crafting, you have one awesome thing I'm gonna go back to the little thing, because I have to bring that back. The crafting, one intricate thing about it was you could add certain things, these augments, to when you want to make something, and then it would give it a prefix or give it an extra thing. So it would make a little more kind of uniqueness to the items, where it wasn't an RNG system, because all the items had, you know, your traditional stats when you got a piece of gear. It was like, oh, I want this because it has this really cool thing. Well, yeah, in that sense, and then you could augment and make them. And of course, you could always make some of the best in-game gear. Some of the in-game gear was crafted, other than the raids, and sometimes the crafted versions or the crafted gear was a little bit better than the raid stuff. So the grind was really nice. It was real smooth. There was nothing overbearing you had to do, which some games, well, most games nowadays would, you know, do more like this. Now, as far as PvE buys goes, guys, this used to be, you know, instead of touching on the raids and just kind of going around and running through that, there's kind of no point, because you can kind of already get an understanding that at the time this game came out, there was a lot of similarities to it and WoW. and the raids really were no different. This is what kind of set it apart, which is what you're seeing on the screen doing the raids, man. This stuff was really, I said doing the raids, I'm sorry, doing the rifts. Don't get me wrong, the raids were fun too. They were actually done very well. But the rifts were kind of the main focus on what they were trying to sell the game on. It just never really came across. Eventually they started adding in all this other kind of crap, and they made raids and dungeons with this kind of gear system, and it made that better than doing rifts, and then rifts became obsolete, and there was no reason to do them anymore. This quantum sight thing that you could get wasn't worth it. You could do let me see, and you used to grow really big when you would pop that. You don't even do that anymore. Ripperoni dude. You know, I don't know why everything is one hit point. But anyway, the whole rifts was what it kind of used to be the main thing here, and it was really fun. You could do all aspects. You could do your crafting, and you could do your gear advancement, and you could, well, you couldn't necessarily do your PvP advancement. That had its own system. And as far as grind goes, I should have said that earlier about the grind. That was another part, grinding that PvP gear out. You were going to grind that out. That was going to take a while. Even when it's subscription based, you were just going to be a PvPer. That was one of the things. So that did have a part in the grind. But as far as, like I said, the PvE wise goes, really the main thing that this game had, which was fun when it first launched and they had everything down pretty good, was doing these rifts. It was really, really fun. And it was a great, different thing. I think the main reason that made it so good was because it was out in the open world. And you could go run up on the Guardians, or they could run up on us at Defiance, and you would end up having PvP/raid right then and there. And sometimes it's not too far away from town, so you'd have low-level people seeing all this craziness going on, and you'd be like, man, this is awesome, I can't wait to get in there. Some of them would try to get in there and get insta-gib, but that's beside the point, you know? It was really... oh man, there was so much stuff they could have done here, and I wish they would have just kept on going with it. Holy crap, that thing didn't die. You see that? Oh look, I'm fighting mobs that are more my level. Rip! Get off me, sucker! Huh? I'd have to get back used to tab targeting again. Alright guys, now as far as visuals goes, I mean, this game, it's kind of surprising. Some of the places still actually look really good. Some of the effects, you know, when it was first released, man, it would definitely tear up your system if you didn't have a good one, especially these shadows. The zones were very big. They still are pretty big, I mean, comparatively speaking. Now, I'm in Ember Isle. This was the first time they added a new piece of landmass in the game, pre-expansion. Oh man, and this place was so cool. As you can see, yeah, there is some pop-ins and stuff. The performance did kind of suffer on this game. You did need like a super PC in most cases to run it, with everything maxed out. So it wasn't an easy game to run back then, and it still really isn't. It hasn't aged well in the performance-wise sense. They just that was one of the things that kind of hit the game. As you can see, some of these random pop-ins and stuff like that, just horrible. But overall, even for the age of the game, it's, you know, it still looks pretty good in most places. And the spell effects, granted, they were never that big to begin with. You know, definitely nothing flashy like Black Desert or even ESO in that sense. The combat tab target, it was still there, so it still looked, that aspect of it still did play very well. The performance of the combat was really good. A lot of people would say that this was probably one of the better tab targeting games, not just for its time, but just in general. So it also had that going for it too. And you know, now that I'm, you know, 10, 11 years later on a little better PC, you see it is running much smoother, but you still have these horrible pop-ins. And now this is one of the newer zones right here that came with one of the expansions, and it's like an underwater water zone. And as you can tell, it's running pretty rough here. Like I said, they never really got the optimization down, and instead what they did was just add more and more crap. And without getting the optimization down, well, you know, there you go. It doesn't run that well. Still not too bad, some of the visuals. Oh, it's running terror bad, huh? This is a pretty cool little zone though. You know, there's a lot of aesthetics. that they added to some of the new places. And they did try a lot of things. Whoa, see, just random pop-ins in and out. Not good, man, not good. Where's the damn porticum thing at? Then this is one of the newest zones that they added with the latest expansion, and I mean, yeah, it's actually not that bad looking. The performance is still kind of meh. Now I got everything turned up, so I know I'm probably pushing everything to the max, also doing this recording, but you know, man, I tell you what, it's a shame when a good game like this goes down. You know, it really sucks. This is some pretty cool looking stuff, I have to say. With some of these new things, they did make it look pretty sweet. So the game definitely has a charm. I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing. Most of the character models look pretty good. The armor and stuff. You know, they could have added, I guess, some more spell effects and things of that nature. But hey, for, you know, a 10-year-old game now, it's actually not that bad. Not that bad looking. It looks better than some of the new games that's come out, you know, in recent times with much better engines and stuff like that. So still not a bad looking game overall. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Something a little different. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And until next time, we'll see y'all later.